Hey, welcome back to the second PvP commentary video, where it's Horde of the Summon versus Mol Rahan. So we're going to be having a fight out on the northern steppe. Pretty interesting fight. This is probably one of the rare fights that come where it's a pretty even numbers. I think the big difference is that while Mol Rahan technically have more people, their numbers kind of stagger in over time. They're not all there at the beginning of the fight. Whereas Blacklight or Horde of the Summon is all together at once. You're going to see that we kind of immediately are going in. Again, first thing you want to do in a PvP situation, target horses, but also kind of be a distraction. Going in, trying to get that one hit on a horse to slow it down, and then moving out. So you're kind of taking these little small passes where you're going in, trying to hit their horse, but trying to make sure they don't hit yours. I catastrophically fail at this, where I do hit their horse, and then they hit mine, and sure enough, they're going to go after me. Now that my horse is wounded, slowed down, these two players do a really good job at following me and pursuing me, and taking out my horse. You can see in the video, I'll actually move to higher ground, so once my horse is hit, I know that the best path is to actually go up this hill, so once we're on foot, I at least have the higher ground, and I'll have an advantage. In addition, everybody on our side of Horde of the Summon does a really good job at actually kind of protecting me. So while I'm the first one down, the rest of my group is kind of blocking them essentially from getting to me and hitting their horses. So we're slowly leading them back while we're taking out their horses. We'll drop a fungus trap here, which is obviously going to be a little bit distracting for them. A pretty big inconvenience, although it doesn't do a ton of damage. It at least covers a very wide area. A good thing to note here is that anytime you're using an AoE kind of pillar spell or attack spell, you want to make sure that by the time at the end of the cast, the enemies are still going to be there. I canceled casting Fungus Trap there because at that point, the enemies had started moving northeast, and I knew by the time that timer was done, they wouldn't be on those tiles anymore.
If you guys get a pain rain up, you're gonna all die over time.
Yeah, I'm gonna pain rain because I got a lot of people that can do it.
Could someone join me on killing the Thyla?
I'm pain rain right now.
Okay.
To the east, drag them east.
Drag them right now.
There is nobody in
Again, it's important to be on the high ground. You want to make sure you try to be as elevated against your opponent as possible. Okay, at this point I'm getting targeted. So what I'm actually going to do is pop defensive mode and move back. I'm going to move towards the mountainside so I can retain height bonus, go up it. And you'll also notice that once I call that out in our communications voice comms, everybody on my side is kind of already coming over to where I am to protect me. That's one of the big advantages of when you're playing with a smaller group, is that you can be a little bit more tactical and decisive. You know each other and you know where you are. Okay, so at this point, they've chased us so far that these two players are kind of overextended a little bit, and they're separated from the rest of their group. So popping back into aggressive mode and attacking their horses.
We need to set the high advantages on the hill. Yeah, I'm on him. I'm staying on him. I'm staying on Yorktown. I might kill this guy actually.
Okay, so this player is a little bit overextended. They're without their group. They're also wearing chain armor, and they have a two-handed weapon. So I know they can't block. They're a really good target to go after first because nobody's around them, and they're not going to be able to block any of our attacks. So they're actually going to go down very quickly.
I've got an Ashley. I think I can one with this guy. I can one with one. Shit. Oh no, I've got two on me. I've got three on me. I've got a hook on me as well. Fuck. I'm going back up the hill. I need help. I'm going back up the hill. They're all on me. Poke to your left. Oh shit. I hear you. I've got a lot of chasing me up the hill. Can we drop a...
get a cast and moon or some shit?
Target Ashton, he's there.
I think at this point in the fight, it's still pretty even. Both sides are kind of exchanging blows, and we're both pretty all wounded across the board.
I'm gonna keep climbing up this hill.
Okay, let's get set.
I'm gonna try and heal a wound.
Ashley.
Yukdan is, if anyone can snipe Yukdan, he's right at the back fucking dying.
There's a
So it's definitely worth noting that almost everybody on our side is actually a priest. And being a priest is actually a pretty big advantage of PvP. You can have a zombie pet like I do. You can have attack spells, and you also have spells that can actually attack the enemy while healing you, like you just saw there with drained health. So I'm actually able to damage the enemy while healing myself without using any cotton. I think for anybody who's considering priesting up, really consider how much you're PvPing. I think right now,
you got 3 or 4 backups
with
coming in,
how
so
the server is going, with PvP being pretty frequent daily, you're going to find that there's a huge advantage being a priest. And I definitely think it's worth priesting up right now.
A lot of them are bleeding shit. Just get in.
Yeah, pain rain.
Just cast right now.
Bus behind you, Joe, man, watch out.
Even in hindsight, when you watch these videos, it's hard to know what variables played a factor here to make you win or lose a fight. I think on our side of the Horde of the Summon, it definitely helps that we're all priests. Our spells are very strong. But I also think that being a smaller group, we have very good communication, and we're very decisive on who we're attacking, as well as knowing when to back out and help one another. I think from a Molrahan perspective, there might have been a little bit of a lack of communication or direction here. I think also at the same point, a lot of them kind of staggered into the fight late. When we first got there was only about 4 or 5 people, and by the end of it, there's more like 8 or 10. So, it still went pretty well for them though. And I still think they could have gotten some kills out of this if they had committed a little bit harder to targeting one person and really sticking on that person as a group.
Coming for Busky.
Yeah, coming up behind us.
Anyone above us? No? Okay, what is that?
That naked guy up behind you, Moon.
Yeah,
Someone on a horse.
Guy on a horse?
Zarkus.
Guy on a horse on you, Moon. Moon, Captain.
Guy with no
Yoma, get on circle to your left.
Get on bus. Let's just kill this bus guy.
I'm getting stamina.
Bus trap.
Casting grenade on.
I'm on this horse.
He's gonna live there. Get on the others, man. They're playing. It's gonna have horse on. I see something. Make it.
That's who's running naked. I'm gonna go.
Are they just running now? Yeah.
I think they're getting more.
It's fine.
We're trickling in, that's what it is.
Run this guy off the horse!
How's it taking this year?
Anyone else looking yet?
Some of them ran off wounded in here, some of them really but let's run
I'll
down the hill. Just straight down the hill from me.
I see more circle than the
You'll probably hear it in the communications that are deafened a little bit, but there comes a point in time where you sort of just have to say, okay, we won the fight. Is it worth it to keep going? Is it really worth it for us to keep chasing this guy, going almost the same speed as him, towards the enemy kingdom? Probably not. One more kill would have been nice. Yeah, sure. Is it worth really overextending and chasing this guy for, though? No, it's not. And I think that's something you have to really consider when you're PvPing, is knowing when to say, okay, a win is a win, let's take it and let's go home.
Yeah, I think we call that a win. Yeah.
You got 7 fucking tabs. You guys got it, alright? Just retreat now.
Kind of like I was saying earlier about hindsight and, you know, what contributes to winning or losing a battle. The reason I thought maybe Molrahan's communication was a little off was because of this. I don't know what this guy's doing. I don't know if he's aware that pretty much everybody on his side is dead or gone, but he comes in at the very end here, guess you really can't say he's not a team player.
Should I-
But
no,
again,
source?
probably not really any reason to do this.
Slow down any second now.
Hit me! Let me hit the fucking horse, you damn fucking bitch!
Come on.
The horse should slow down in a second.
Come on, guys. I'm so
Yeah,
close.
it's slow.
One hit,
There we
we
go,
win
done.
the game.
Oh my god, please!
Yes!
Yes!
No! Hit his back up.
Back up.
Hit the back up.
Fucking hell.
No, please hit it. This guy doesn't pop tabs usually. But he might get
He came by to save the day.
Ian and them should be in your local area. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I'm just like.
it's late.
Ian, do I go west over the pass, step pass? Yep. Yeah. Okay. I'm at the step pass.
Right, let's
Just bring horses, whoever is at the step.
Yeah, I've got a backup. And then I can run back and get more for you guys.
Are you looting this mono?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got layered stuff in local. Do you guys have them?
Easy AK.
I'm on step pass right now and he's in local.
Oh shit, let's group up then.
So really close fight. You know, I really honestly do think that fight could have gone either way. I think it really came down to decisiveness and calling targets and communication. I think it's a good example to show you that numbers don't mean everything. It's very easy to win a fight when you greatly outnumber an enemy. If you know you have 20 people and you're up against 5, yeah, you're probably gonna win. It's not difficult. But I think what's much harder is when you are outnumbered or you have even numbers. Then it really becomes a game more about tactics and communication, more than just who has more people and who has more backup horses.
Is this the slowest horse ever? What the hell?
give me this mycelium, man. I need the mycelium, man.
It's coming.
Nobody has healing coffers.
Adam.
I got caught up.
I'm almost
I've got some.
People on horse, gather more horses to the east.
Where's this fucking mycelium?
Boom.
Here, this pile of items is a bunch of healing covers in it, okay?
I posted from that tower we were at yesterday.
Hey
step
Chad,
out
I got a
straight
horse
west.
for you.
Yeah.
Lots of healing covers in this pile of items next to the